I really can't stop today. I just want to help you. So, the number one thing I could never get a straight answer for when I was first on my sourdough journey is what is bulk fermentation? When does it start? When does it end? The what bulk fermentation means is it is when you're doing the bulk, so the most part of your fermenting. It starts from the second that your starter hits your dough. So if you choose to do an autolyse where you only mix flour and water for a while, bulk fermentation has not started. If you are stretching and folding, bulk fermentation already has started before that. It does not start after your folds. It starts the second that the yeast and bacteria that the starter hits the flour. It ends when you shape your dough. Essentially what you're doing is you're trying to reach that perfect moment in time when the yeast has gone through all the flour. These tiny little microorganisms are multiplying and multiplying and multiplying and going through all the flour. When all the yeast has touched all of the flour and emitted as much gases as it can to puff up your dough, that is the moment where you take the dough, you shape it into a nice shape, and then you let it proof, which is either on the counter or more traditionally with sourdough in the fridge. That is then allowing those gases to redistribute. If you were to bake the dough right after you shaped it, it would be dense in spots because you handled it, like you squeezed it or you pinched it to make a seam or whatever it is. You want to let the dough relax again, and all that CO2, all of that work that the yeast did, you want that to redistribute again so you get a really nice puffed up loaf of bread when you go to bake it. Bulk fermentation is where the most of the fermenting is done, where all of it is basically done. And then you shape it so you make it whatever shape you want: buns, a boule, which is round, a batard, which is long and oval shape, make it into bagels, whatever the shape is. You shape it at that moment and then you let it proof. Under fermented is different than under proofing. I just could talk about all this stuff forever. I'll do under fermenting versus under proofing on a separate post.